Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Manifesting with the Moon. Today is May 12th, 2025, and the moon is full in the sky in the sign of Scorpio. May is typically called the flower moon because it's summer or spring in the northern hemisphere at least, or um, according to Celtic tradition, we just passed Beltane, which is a very significant holiday for growth and protection and fertility. And so today we are talking all about this full moon in Scorpio. In the link below or in the comments or whatever that is below, I'm going to post this PDF. Okay. So if you
Okay.
decide to follow it along, I didn't get it to everybody in time, so I think I might be the only one that has it. That's my bad. But if you want to write down what you're going to release, what you were going to manifest, that is where you can do it. And then you can just rip it up and burn it later on tonight when you're ready.
Mhm.
So, ladies, talk to me about the full moon today.
Okay, well, it's Scorpio, water sign, watery emotions. We
Mhm.
all love a bit of emotions. So, full moon. So, what we're kind of thinking about is this is where the full moon is shining a light in the area you don't normally see. So, this is where maybe there are emotions, and also with the full moon, you're letting go. It's about releasing. So, for this, we've got to look at what what we're kind of like what we don't normally see at this time because it's a full moon. So you've got full light on maybe the things that are in your shadow area. So your area that's not normally seen, highlighted in the full moon. What do you not like that maybe is coming up? So I'm thinking emotions this time of year. Maybe there's things that you want to, I don't know, almost like the fears, the insecurities. So one of the things that you put, Kristy, on that sheet is about passion and charisma. Okay, so this is kind of the moon about that passionate, charismatic part of Scorpio. So is there a bit that maybe you're holding yourself back from? Are you passionate? Are you, maybe this is actually to do with sexual energy? Is it to do with that passion? Is it to do with passion of your interests? So are you holding yourself back? So in that kind of thinking, in the shadow, are there insecurities? I'm not good enough. Um, I'm not beautiful enough. I need to do something. Have a look, dig deeper, and find out where those fears are because these are the things that are holding you back. Full moon's the time to go, I see you. I recognize you. I need to let that go. That's an old story. So, a real classic one can be that I'm not good enough. We'll use that. Charismatic, passionate, maybe, I don't know, I'm not loving myself enough. Maybe it's to do with your own self. But if you're holding yourself back because sort of like maybe you just don't just think you deserve it, old story, let it go. Okay, so this is about recognize it, full moon, know what you want. Actually, I want to value myself. I'm going to put myself as a queen. And that's the energy that I'm going to work towards. So, in which case, I need to let go of this little princess idea concept and actually walk into being the queen concept. Okay. So, I guess for me, this is where full moon, this is the transition that we're doing. But because it's to do with passion, the Scorpio element of this, for me, it's about let's use that. So, it's about emotions, fear. So that's kind of for me feels quite emotional. But because the characteristics of Scorpio are around that passion, charisma, those kind of things, for me, this is where you should be highlighting in this specific mood. So that's where I will be looking.
Okay, great.
Does
Are
Stephanie, I
that all make sense?
love that. That's so good. You know what's so fascinating is I love that you brought up passion and like I have been working really hard on allowing being safe, being passionate. And I'm talking about being passionate in my work and showing it to the world. Like I've always been somebody that's been hiding behind the curtain, like, oh, don't look at me. But actually, it's time I know for me to step forward and stop hiding and to be passionate about what I do. and it's safe for me. So your explanation really is going to help me tonight with this full moon to really allow myself to stop hiding and step out and become that queen that you were talking about. So thank you for that.
Yeah.
I
So
love
maybe
it.
there's something about princess is comfy. Maybe this is where the shadow work is there. That's comfier than stepping into it. That's how I like to play with it. It's like, are we getting comfy? We need to get uncomfortable because comfy is like, that's not pushing us, that's not challenging us, that's not making us grow, is it? Don't you think?
It's not, yeah, no, staying in that comfort zone that's not challenging us. The discomfort of that, it has to far outweigh the discomfort of being stretched and going into a different area that you're not comfortable, but the growth will take you to new levels. So, but you have to be really uncomfortable with where you're at to be allow yourself to stretch that. So I love that. So I just pulled a tarot card. I felt led to pull a tarot card for everyone. And I got this King of Earth. So Earth, this is all about like right now, this full moon, whatever you're going to manifest, there's great success for you. And this is in the material world. So there's some amazing success aligned with this full moon for us tonight. So I just think that that's a really beautiful and powerful message that we're all receiving. Yeah. So take the time to really do this exercise so you can manifest whatever it is that you're wanting. Me, it's being comfortable, being passionate, and allowing people to celebrate me.
Yeah.
It's scary
Kristy,
to
do
be
you want to
passionate.
talk? You know your sheet. Do you want to just hold it
Yes.
up again and
Oh,
see
sure.
how you could do that on that sheet of paper?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So over here, I have I pulled three words about Scorpio. So I have water, passionate, charismatic. And over here in your column, you have what you want to release because it's always good to release something during the full moon. And then I have over here in your right column, or yeah, your right column, what you want to manifest. It's always good to kind of at least set some kind of manifestation intentions. And it doesn't have to be something material or physical, even though this moon is definitely primed for that. You can always just try to manifest some kind of feeling. That's normally what I do. I'm someone who is a very I have a passive peripheral view, so I don't go in saying like that's what I want, this is specifically what I want. And so vision boards don't typically work for me, and I know this based on my human design. And so I go in with feelings. How do I want to feel? How do I want to feel when I manifest this? How would I feel? That's the kind of thing that I explore because I'm a very even though I am historically not a very emotional person, like that's where I should be living my life, in the emotions. Okay, so you have your two columns here, and then down here, just because I'm a human design nerd, I like to know what gate the moon is in, and I kind of like to see where all the planets. And so for this full moon, we are going to be in gate 43, the gate of insight. And so I kind of put a couple little prompts in there that kind of would help you, like, where are you doubting yourself versus can you surrender to divine timing right now? So if you are into human design, if you are into astrology, if you're just like, I just want to vibe with the full moon, I want to see how it feels, got a little bit of something to kind of just push you forward. Okay, but before I jump into what I get the feeling, when Steph was talking about moving from this princess version of yourself to the queen version of yourself, it made me think of that fairy tale, The Princess and the Pea. And you know how the princess was sleeping on or they were trying to find the princess, put her on a stack of mattresses, and it was only define you as a princess if you could feel that little bitty pea underneath, right? So
Yeah.
as you were moving into that queendom, think of what that little thing is that is kind of holding you back. There's always like one or two little granules of self-doubt or something that you're just like, oh yeah, I would never want to admit that I'm really afraid of this, but I'm kind of am a little bit afraid. And it's just that little bit that just kind of, it can catalyze you. You can ignore it and you can sleep on it and you can be uncomfortable, or you can really look at it and pick it up and be like, I'm squishing it this time. Boom.
So good. Love that, Kristy. Thank you. Kristy, I got a question because I don't know human design that well. I know just
Mhm.
like high level. Can you explain what the gate is a
Oh
little
yeah,
bit?
sure.
I'm just curious.
So, in human design, you have the planets and the sun moving through like a rave mandala. It's moving around in a circle. So all your planets are always orbiting the Earth in some kind of circular like pattern. And the gates are arranged as such so that when a planet or the sun or whatever is highlighting that, it kind of sends that energy. It's like the gate is this opening that it's sending that energy down onto the entire collective. And so some people have some gates defined, and so they feel that energy all the time. But during the year, especially with the sun, you're going to feel the energy of every single gate, whether you have it or not. And so you can always feel that energy. You're also going to feel it if you're in someone else's energy that has that gate defined. But this is like on a collective level, like everybody is feeling this moon, this flower moon in Scorpio reflected through the gate 43 of insight. So this is like the gate of insight is where you are, well, that you're getting insights, right? It's not really that complex, but you're
I
getting
love it.
insights on what you need to
On that
release
little
and
grain of
shift.
sand.
Yes, exactly. And
So good.
so don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to step into that. And when I think about the new moon, I have a hard time like um kind of deciding what to release and what to manifest. It kind of feels very much like dropping one and picking up the other for me. And so I look at the new the full moon as kind of like just shifting a little bit in my chair. I like to shift my identity just a little bit. It doesn't have to be major. I can do a little bit each month and just kind of like shift my perspective just a little bit. And so I too am going to be trying to step into my bravery because this is kind of me coming out into the world again, into the spiritual community again after not being in it for several years because I was just too chicken. I was too chicken to do it. And so here's me coming out
Well,
into the
well,
world.
and I mean, I want to acknowledge it takes a lot of courage to step out of the spiritual closet.
It does. Yes.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not, it takes a lot. So I think it's amazing that you're doing it and you are so powerful. I'm so happy to see you here.
Oh, thank you. That's nice. The spiritual world is a very it's a it's a field full of landmines in some senses. And so it's hard to find your community because you can fall in and out of alignment with things so quickly. You don't even realize it.
Mhm.
Yeah,
So,
that's true.
but you got to be bold, you got to be brave because that's part of being human, right?
Yeah.
100%.
So what about rituals? Does anyone do a bit of a ritual with the moon? Either of you do
I
anything?
do. So one thing that I love to do with the full moon is I have a glass jar that has the lid
Mm,
that you uh, latch over. And I'll
nice.
put water in there, and then I will write down on a piece of paper what I want to manifest, and then I put it out and let it absorb the moon energy. So it's my what I want to manifest, and I'll spend about 3 days just drinking that water.
Oh,
So
nice.
yeah, it's
Oh,
That's a
about
good
that's
idea.
lovely.
yeah, so I'll drink just a little bit each morning. As I'm drinking it, I'm reflecting on what it is that I want to manifest and change in my life. And, we're made of 70% of water. So then when I'm imprinting it with the full moon energy and what I want to manifest, that is actually imprinted in this water. And then I'm putting it in my body. And it's imprinting it in my physical body.
Was it you, Emily, that sent me that a link and there was some research done? Was it over in Japan about how
Yeah,
they
Dr.
spoke to the
Emoto.
water?
Yeah,
Oh
Dr.
my
Emoto.
gosh, it's so good. So for
So
anyone
good. Yeah.
who hasn't been and gone and researched this on the internet, go and Google this. This is where somebody spoke words and the crystals that were formed from the water as it froze, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Um, were all unique. And so happiness has its own unique vibration. And
Mhm.
this is where we come into, oh, I've got goosebumps. This is where we come into the fact that we're all just energy. Words are energy, our thoughts are energy. And so putting this all into something, and like you say, water, which you then infuse in our body, the magic that can happen over something so, so simple, just
Right.
incredible. But this is proper research.
It is.
This is physics,
It is.
people.
And it's fascinating because like he played like or he would say negative words and it would just be the molecules would just be all like messy and ugly. And then he would say beautiful words and it would be beautiful snowflakes, like just this really
Yeah.
unique, beautiful pattern. So yeah, it's Dr. Emoto, Emoto. You can find him on YouTube and it has like a little 5-minute overview of his research and you can actually see how the ice forms after speaking or even just writing it. So I never drink anything without speaking into it. Same with our food. Same with our food.
That's a
Yeah.
good practice to get into.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so we're even talking about Scorpio, water sign. Oh my
Oh, great.
goodness, this is
It's
so
perfect.
good.
It's perfect.
I love that
This is
stuff.
this is why we're all together, because
Mhm.
then we can make all of these links that we can't necessarily do when we're just on our own.
Right.
Community, right?
It's a great thing.
It
I
really.
love how people are starting to really link up science with the art of manifestation. I've been, reading about manifesting through the version of the brain and like what the brain does when you're like saying proper intentions and everything. And it's just shocking. People are like, oh, manifestation, that's ridiculous. But there's so much scientific evidence to back it up. And so just using the moon's energy to help with that, this is
Yeah,
not really so far fetched that people should not be able to connect with it in some way.
yeah.
So I love that research. I'm definitely going to go look at that. And I'm going to start doing that ritual too. It's so easy, but I have to say I agree. I'm using this platform as an anchoring because there's a lot of times that I have no idea what phase the moon is in. This is my deep dark confession. I usually have no clue what's going on up in the sky until I look. I'm like, "Oh no, I don't have crystal out, I don't have water out. What am I releasing? I don't know." And get very discombobulated. So this is going to be my anchor to chatting with you ladies every month so that I can get into some kind of routine because it can be so powerful to just utilize
Yeah,
these cycles every
Yes.
single month.
I'm with you.
yeah,
Kristy, you guys are my anchor to help keep me focused on what I want to manifest and work with these energies because you're right. So powerful.
Yeah.
yeah. And so simple. When we think about it, we have been connected to the moon since the beginning of time. So this is such a natural rhythm that we can get ourselves into because it's every single cycle. We can just beautifully move through the year and connect ourselves again with our intentions, where we're going, what we want to let go of, really celebrate our what we've done well at as well. We're as humans, we're not great at celebrating what we've achieved. We're always thinking about the next thing, the to-do list. In fact, one of my clients calls it a to-do list instead of a to-do list. We really need to start thinking about ta-da, I've done this.
I love
And I
that.
really, I really like that when she said it. It was like, I am so using that.
I
So
love that. I'm
it's
using that
just,
one.
yeah, because
Yes.
we really do think about, oh, so what's still on the to-do list instead of going, oh, look what I've managed to achieve today. And this is where this comes into the gratitude, which comes into the energy that we're putting in around ourselves. So we're really feeding into that our achievement, that abundance, what we've got, instead of the to-do list, which is about our lack, which is almost like has that energy. We don't want that in our lives. We want that, yay, look at us, look what we've managed to do, because then we're vibing at that higher. And for me, this is where it's also about vibration, because the higher vibration we are, that sort of like that real gratitude that I've done this, I'm making a difference, I've got great clients, I'm being brave, I'm showing courage. All of these things are helping that frequency keep to the level that we want it to be in. I got into
Absolutely.
energy there and I wasn't even going to go there.
I
I did
love
a
that.
list or a course years ago about manifesting, and one of the most commonly forgotten about parts of manifesting is celebrating your achievements. Because if you don't close the manifestation loop by celebrating, then the universe is like, hey, what's going on? Like, do you still want this? Did we achieve what you wanted? Like, it's hard if you don't close that loop, then it's hard to continue bringing things in. It's really important, and the moon is such a good time to do that because it's such a natural cycle to close this loop.
Yeah.
So I love
Oh,
that you said that
I
stuff.
never knew that. That's interesting.
Yeah. So having a to-do list and just celebrating like, oh, what I did. It's actually very much more important in the process of manifesting than people give it credit for. Because otherwise you're just doing, right? The hustle
Right.
culture just
Yeah.
perpetuates.
Oh man, I seriously had this conversation with my guides this morning.
Really?
Yes. Just go, go,
Awesome.
go. And I need to take a break. And they were saying that I need to celebrate all that I've achieved.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
huge.
It is.
Maybe this is the time. Maybe and also this is the beginning of summer. So again, big celebration time,
Mhm.
So the May is all about that celebration of the summer's coming, everything's, you're bursting into bloom. This is the flower moon. You're blooming,
Mm.
it isn't, we've come out of the winter. We've come out of the spring where we're not quite sure what flower's going to come out. This is your, I'm here moment.
It's
I like the fact
amazing.
that these moons have names because I think there's something to do with the name of the moon that can also help us connect to that concept of kind of a bit of different energy as well, isn't it?
Oh,
Absolutely.
absolutely. Okay, here's a question for you guys then. Okay, if you wanted to pick a flower or plant or tree, whatever, to associate with what you're trying to pull in and release this new moon or full moon, what would it be?
A
Ooh,
pink
that's a
rose
good
for me.
question.
Ooh, nice. I
Ooh,
like
why
that.
rose?
I just feel connected to the divine mothers. And so that was what popped in my head as soon as you asked the question. And pink
Awesome.
being self-love and a rose being connected to the divine mothers to really just like nurture me as I start to step out and become willing to like be celebrated by people. I've never been wanting to be celebrated by people and
Which
allow
is
my
so
Mm.
sad
passion to
because
flow.
Emily is so stinking powerful. I remember several years ago,
Yeah.
you're like, oh, I don't know. And I'm like, oh my gosh, Emily, you built like these massive 7-figure businesses. You were like this powerhouse copywriter. You like connect to all of these spiritual realms. Like, what? Dude,
I know, isn't it really sad how
wild.
we underestimate ourselves? It really is so
Yeah.
sad. And it's time
Well,
to
Yeah.
not.
but that's why we
Yeah.
need community so that we can have that reflection back and like
Yeah.
hear that every once in a while.
Well, I think the 3D world, like at least my upbringing and it, trying to perform for everyone else but me, that 3D world keeps us there. And they never
Hmm.
speak life into us. You just spoke life into me, It's rare to have people actually speak life into us. And that's so
True.
important.
Yeah.
It
And that's
is.
where we
Well,
can grow and stretch.
Well, the message
Agreed.
from you from the dragons that I can hear right now as the time for being humble is over, Emily.
Uh,
So I think this is the thing is I think, we do have to recognize it's such a humble is such a human thing. You don't see a dragon going, oh, excuse me.
no,
It's
yeah.
just to own that spirituality or an angel going, oh, careful of the wings. It's like just own our own energy. It's just, it's a human thing being humble, actually, celebrating who we are. Maybe that's more of what we need to do. Maybe this
Mm,
is more of the what we stick in the glass of the water
right.
is not about that being humble, not about keeping us, it's about going, yep, here I am, all of me.
Thank you, Stephanie. That's a really, really powerful message.
I wonder whether or not we're all spiritually as big as a dragon. Okay. So if we were
Mm,
all as spiritually as big as a dragon, it's kind of maybe we do need to sometimes wonder or be curious about maybe energetically I'm a lot bigger than this outline that you can see here in front of you. And so therefore we are gonna, so being small is almost like I'm not sure whether or not it's a true representation of who we are energetically. I don't know. What do you think? I just think.
I
Can you
agree.
say that again? I'm sorry. Being small is,
Well, I'm just not sure that whether or not really we're that small energetically. I think probably we're so much bigger. I think that it's
we are.
only the fact that we're living this like you said, this 3D existence. We sometimes look in the mirror and go, oh, here we are. I'm on screen, rather than going, actually, if I just feel into my energy, I'm a lot bigger.
I agree
Ooh,
100%.
that's
Hmm.
good.
Hmm.
Dragons don't tiptoe around their power, and neither should we.
Nope. Mm-mm.
No,
We're not here to.
Mm-mm, that's good.
no.
Yeah.
Okay, Steph, what is your flower that you're
I don't know. I was
doing?
thinking when you said it, I was thinking daisies because I was just thinking in
Mm,
the summer, I really love that whole daisy chain, that play, that just lying around in the sunshine and picking daisies out the grass and play, and all of those sorts of things. So I think maybe something like that. There's something playful and something that also kind of opens each morning and closes each night because I shut down each night and sleep quite heavily. So I kind of like think, open and close. I quite like that idea, but also the fun element. Because I think of daisies as being playful and children, I think. Hmm.
Yeah, they're so joyful, and I love the balance, bringing that balance into
yeah,
the world. Ah, so good, Steph.
Yeah,
I
that
love that
might
That
that's
too.
feels
fun. I
really
think
good.
that's what good. Yeah. What about you then, Christy?
Um, I think mine will be a sunflower because
Mm.
sunflowers always face the sun, right? And so I always want to be facing that aligned part of my path. But I think also there's a lot of really good, fantastic energy as you guys are showing me. I forget how much fun talking to other people about this kind of stuff can be. And there's just so much light around us and so much really powerful, shiny energy that, it's a feels like a very dark and chaotic world right now. And there's so much going on. But really, if you just like pull it in a little bit, there's like so much brightness and sun to look around and just be grateful for. And so I kind of want to take that into this next cycle. Like look around
Mm.
you, you are quite abundant. Where are you getting this energy from? See if you can just like reflect it back and just push my aura out further.
So
Yeah,
good. I love
that's
that.
great.
Okay, final wrap up question, then I will let you ladies go about your day. Okay, so give me one thing that you want to manifest and one thing that you want to release this month so that we can check back in next month and see how we did.
Okay. Hmm.
Mm.
So just what I want to manifest in the next 30 days.
I would say, well, 30 days or what you are working on pulling in, right? Because, like, when you put your frequency out,
Yeah.
the universe does not work on a timeline. That's just very a human thing to do. And so just having any intention to at least pull it towards you, I would say. How about that? Like, this is what I'm working towards, either aligning to or physically pulling into this 3D realm of where I am.
Hmm.
Okay, I can go first, Steph, if you're not ready. Do you
Yeah.
need a minute? Okay. For me, it is what I want to pull in is for me to be comfortable being celebrated by people, and being passionate about my work. And what I'm ready to release is the ego that I have held on to, that I have to be humble and it's safe for me to hide. I'm ready to release that.
Excellent. You shouldn't be humble. You're amazing.
Thank you, Kristy. None of us
So
should
good.
be humble. All of us are here as light workers, even, all light workers. I really feel like I feel like we're from such high realms that we come here into this 3D world and we don't know how to navigate it and we kind of withdraw. And so it's like, how do we find our footing? This is my interpretation. How do we find our footing confidently here in this really like confined energy?
It's
So
hard. It's hard.
it is. It is hard. And I think I don't know. I think sometimes I'm worried I'll blow people away and I don't want to do that. I want to find people that are at the same or not the same frequency, but frequency that can handle mine, because I
Mm.
don't hurt
Yeah,
anyone. Does that make
yeah,
sense? I don't know if that
Yeah.
makes
yeah,
sense.
it
No, that's really
does.
beautiful.
I love that.
That is.
Yeah. I
Absolutely.
think what I want to let go of, I think, is feeling cluttered. Okay, so you probably can see that cupboard behind me, but in my house is various. So sometimes I am not very good at letting go of things just in case. And I've noticed that this month in particular, I'm feeling quite cluttered, piles of paperwork and bits and pieces that I haven't got time to do. So I think what I want to do is I want to keep some clear boundaries. So what I want to manifest is some clearer boundaries so that I let go. So I don't keep everything. So it's almost like I want to have some clearer boundaries around what I keep and move things out of my life, because I don't think I'm moving things out that I don't actually need. So I'm going into that hoarding thing and I'm getting cluttered, and that's making me feel, oh, I don't know, just a bit on edge. I mean, I'm looking around my room and I'm just kind of thinking, oh, that's messy. And this is summer, and actually this is a great time. Oh, I was just thinking, so actually, this would be a really good time because it's about cleansing, isn't it? So actually,
Mhm.
this moon, maybe I need to wash a load of stuff and get rid of it, or clean it and mop it, or something with water, or something like that to just clean this up. And yeah, maybe that might be a really nice way to do it as well. So maybe using water in some way. But I think I really need to just get rid of some things, releasing, but also then being really aware of I'm going to keep some boundaries. So I think what I'm going to bring in is some boundaries about what I keep. I really honor the fact that I only want things that are going for my highest good, rather than just retaining everything, thinking I may need it or I don't want to get rid of it. I think that's what it is. Just start getting, yeah, only keep what's for my highest good. Some really nice time boundaries, maybe around work. I think that would be a good thing because I tend to work silly hours and work weekends, and maybe just really getting that back under control, and then just getting rid of the clutter. Bye, bye, bye. Go that way.
Stephanie, really quickly, I got a vision of you having like a beautiful bowl of water with maybe some crystals in it that can absorb the energy as you cleanse your house. As you go through and actually declutter your house, there's water that is collecting all the negative energy. So before you start cleaning your house, find a beautiful bowl, put whatever crystals you feel in it, and put your hand over it and just thank the water for observing I can't speak right now, sorry. Absorbing all the energy that is no longer of use to you or doesn't serve you or is no longer yours, and absorbing it. I don't know why I can't say that word right now, and transmuting it to love, light, peace, and harmony.
That's beautiful. Thank
And
you.
then when
I'll
you're
do that.
done with that water, pour it into Mother Earth.
Yeah, I will. I'll go and find some daisies. I'll go and water some daisies
Yes,
with it.
yes, I love that. Okay, so good.
Thank you. Thank you so much. What about you then, Kristy?
Um, I am wanting to manifest courage as I am shifting from these stories of, I think, self-doubt that I've been holding on to for the last couple of years.
Mhm.
Um, I haven't, I have not wanted to kind of step into this version of myself where I'm like, oh yeah, I do human design readings. I do know what I'm talking about. I do want to go out and teach and share and write. I've been holding back because I've just been telling myself that everybody knows this stuff. Nobody needs to hear it from me because everybody knows all this stuff. And so I'm like, that's probably not true completely. So I want to manifest the courage to move forward, especially since this is um, a nice, charismatic moon. I want to do it with some charisma. Thank you very much.
Nice.
So, is there
Yes.
anything else you ladies want to talk about this first full moon where we are manifesting our biggest dreams, highest selves?
I haven't got anything to add, but just thank you for inviting us along, or me along. I've had a great time.
Me
Had a
too.
good time with you guys.
So good. I'm so grateful to be part of this. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm so happy that you guys decided to join me because this was another doubt that I had. I was like, "Ooh, are you completely out there? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know." So I'm really glad that you guys decided to join too. And if anybody has any comments or questions that they want to add, please drop them in the comments below. And if you want to hear how our month is going when we are manifesting with the moon, while we are manifesting with the moon, and just see how we evolve, then please head over to our Patreon page, called also Manifesting with the Moon, and check out what we're doing there. We'd love to have you part of our community, as part of our community. So we will see you next month for the next full moon. And until next time, bye, guys.
Bye.